We're talking with Gavin Broadbent. And Gavin, tell us the company you're from and what you're going to talk about.
From Kasama Helicopters in Thailand. We've come to the USA here I've come to the USA for the first time. We have a new product here to demonstrate, as long as as with our other helicopters as well, which you don't often see here in the US. There's not many flying here in the US, and we'd like to give it a little bit more exposure. And the main reason was to show our new prototype 600, which is the first time it's been seen outside of Thailand.
Do you have a name for it?
It's called a Simok 600 FIFAR. FIFAR is Thai for electric, and so it's an electric 600 size helicopter. It's actually called a FIFAR 2012. We plan to release it in 2012. There may be some kits released to dealers and to team pilots before the end of the year, but next year will be the full release, and we're getting very close now. The prototype is in advanced stages.
Okay, and what motor are you using?
It's a Scorpion 4025 550 kV motor, running 10 cells. Gear ratio is 8.33, so it's actually the same as one of our option nitro gear ratios at the moment for testing. It's slightly modified, if you have a look here.
Yes.
We may produce this motor, an improved motor, if you like, that's supplied with the kit. Maybe included with the kit. And you can see it has the top section is actually the motor mount. So you can see it's a one piece setup. Normally you'd have a separate motor mount, and you'd screw your whichever Contronic or a Scorpion motor to that. There will be an option in the kit also for a standard motor to attach in a standard way. But for us, we may include this in the kit. Okay. And it will either be made by ourselves, it'll be designed by Kasama, or it will be made for us OEM. So the main innovation there is to actually attach the motor without a separate motor mount, which makes it a lot cleaner and takes extra parts out, if you like. So it's a one-piece setup. It's actually a helicopter-specific motor, if you like, designed to fit this particular helicopter. It has a very one of the new features, I guess, is you have a new servo layout, which you may see in future Kasama helicopters. The next generation of 90 size, 700 size helicopters may have this layout. The auto hub is different. It's been lightened, and it also has a large support here for helical gears. It's not a helical gear at the moment. This is simply a prototype. But in the future, for release, it will actually be a helical main gear, which will make it smoother and quieter. The locking for the main shaft is quite innovative as well. It uses two pitch collars, one top and one bottom. The bottom one actually attaches the main shaft to the crown gear. It's a crown gear tail drive. But it also has a pin that goes through, but it actually engages into a slot. It makes it very, very easy to remove it. There's no pins to locate or anything. It has like a 90-degree bend in the slot, and what it does is it keys in. When you push it in, it actually keys in and locks itself. Then you tighten the two pitch collars, and then the main shaft is in place then. Very, very quick and very, very easy. Okay. No major benefit to that, I suppose. It maybe makes it a few minutes shorter to remove the main shaft, but it's an innovative feature, and it's different. It sets us apart from other brands. The tail at this stage, this is a prototype helicopter. This is actually what we call V3. This is a version 3 prototype. There are many parts actually on this prototype which will be in the production kit. The tail will have a few changes to reduce weight for the 600 size. At the moment, this is simply a shortened 90 size boom and tail arrangement. So it's actually the same, which has been shortened. The rotor head is a direct link CCPM. We're looking to the future with no flybar option. And I talked to many people here. It was a good gauge of the market, actually. I asked them, would you like a flybar option for the helicopter? And they said no. And that's 100% of the responses that I've gotten. So I'm happy with that. So I think we'll continue on with that. It was good to find the market there. But all these parts for the head are production parts. They're actually being produced right now well before the release. So we have those parts in stock. The servo mount has an integral bell cranks. So it's a one-piece arrangement. We've achieved ideal ratios from the servo to the blade grip. The final ratio for pitch and cyclic is very much correct for V-bar, Mikado V-Starby, Futaba CGY 750. It places it right within the control ranges for those units. So it's very, very, very much ideal for that, which gives you very good flight characteristics. major step away from where the rest of the market is going, or the rest of the manufacturers are going. We want to design a helicopter, or a 600 size helicopter, that does not need high power to perform extremely well. So we're not using a 35mm motor, we're using a 25mm, so it's shorter, smaller, more efficient. The smaller motor is smoother, and we think that the performance levels will be as good or better than other models with larger power systems. So the whole idea, main concept with Kasama is efficiency. He doesn't necessarily look at providing more performance with more horsepower. He looks at the frame, he looks at the design of the helicopter to improve efficiency. That's the main area we're going. We've actually run, at the moment I'm running a Contronic Jive 80 amp speed controller. We've run as low as 60 amp Jive. To give you an example of how efficient it is, you can run as low as a 60 amp Jive, no problem. Head speed now is about, idle 2 is about 2,200. It's a reasonable head speed. We've tested it as high as 2,500 with no issues whatsoever, no vibration issues at all. 2 5S packs. This is quite easy here. 2 packs mounted top and bottom. So it's very easy to access the pack. Very good. Straps in very easily and very, very quickly. Just need to connect to your ESC here. I'll just turn it around. We'll also have a smaller fin. The tail fin will be smaller. The tail gearbox in some areas where it will be lightened to improve the centre of gravity.
Excellent.
You can see he tends to beautify it, if you like. It makes it look beautiful. The angles and everything tend to match. I can see these 2 lines here are 90 degrees. The angle of the servo, the angle of where the V-bar sits, the angle of the tail servo is all 90 degrees, and it looks nice. It looks correct. It looks very nice. Looks good. You can see integrated heatsink and motor mount. Heatsink and ESC mount. Sorry. It also has a guide, nice neat guide for the 3 leads, and they will work okay with the gauge wire that you use for Contronic or Castle. Guides the leads very neatly through the frame and across to the motor. We've done away with the separate guide for the swash. The swash guide is now an A-arm, which is a little bit cleaner. We've also managed with the ratios from the servo to the swash. We've managed, this is another area where we differ, we've managed to get the 2 pitch control rods very much parallel, almost parallel, which many other manufacturers end up with a very, very big angle to achieve the ratio from the swash to the blade grip. The reason being is because their ratio is too high down here. They haven't stepped it back far enough at the servo end, so they end up with a very big angle here, which is not mechanically correct. You end up with slightly different, in some cases significantly different pitch range in either direction, which you can only correct electronically. You can only correct it in the transmitter or your flybarless unit. So the fact that these are vertical is good and it's mechanically correct.
Excellent.
The frame at the moment, we're testing a 1.5mm carbon frame, which is very thin. It works okay, but for production we will actually step up the frame dimension a little bit. It'll probably go up to 1.8mm. We found 2mm was a little bit heavy, a little bit hard, so we're going to go up to a nice compromise, say 1.8. So you can see he's actually added some cross members here, or positions for cross members, just in case the frame, this is how he thinks. He'll make a frame, he knows it's going to be a little bit soft. So what he does is he adds little spots here where you can add additional stiffeners if you like, to say, for example, we had to stop testing because it had a problem, but we could just, and it was caused by a soft frame, we could actually adjust by putting cross members in, and you could fix the problem very quickly, easily, rather than taking the frame off. So it's quite clever there. There'll be 12 cell option. At the moment this prototype's running 10 cell. Performance I like power and I like performance, and it's impressing me. so it's on 10 cell. I have flown it on 12 cell at the factory, and it was even more ballistic. And the 12 cell option will be a different gear ratio. So maybe a different main gear or a different pinion. I think a different pinion, a smaller pinion. At the moment it's a 12-tooth pinion. That may change. When we go to helical, we may adjust the gear ratio a little bit. And there'll be a higher ratio for the 12 cell setup.
Excellent. That's a great summary. A lot of detail there.
Thank you.
I'll build a sidebar in our magazine based upon this. Anything else?
Anything else I'd like to add?
Anything on the tail?
For the tail.